While many children are enjoying a good life, this little girl can only nibble on a moldy piece of bread because not long ago, her mother unfortunately passed away in an accident, and this deaf and mute girl became an orphan with no one to take care of her. But the child is completely unaware of all this. She still stays at home every day, waiting for her mother to come back. However, all she can wait for is Jack, the creditor of her mother during her lifetime. The purpose of his visit this time is to look for some valuables to offset the debt the woman owed him before. When he was carefully rummaging through the drawers, a girl walked straight past him. Then she skillfully hid under the table and started nibbling on the moldy bread on her own. Jack's heart twitched involuntarily. How could fate treat such a poor child like this? Out of the kindness in his heart, Jack still contacted the little girl's father and wanted him to take care of the child, but unexpectedly, he got a good scolding. What a jerk. How could there be such a father in the world? Jack, feeling melancholy, lit a cigarette. The smell of the cigarette made the girl who had been hiding under the cabinet react. It turned out that her mother also loved smoking. She happily crawled out of the cabinet and slapped the floor a few times. The girl's actions made Jack very puzzled, but he still imitated her actions and gave a response. The girl crawled towards Jack joyfully. However, when she touched Jack's cheek, the presence of a stranger made her instantly fall into a state of panic. The landlord next door heard the girl's cries and rushed over. She mistakenly thought that Jack was the girl's father and told him that the woman had a deposit of $80,000 with her, but she could only return it to him after a month. Jack had a brainwave and pretended to be the girl's father. Just like that, in order to get that $80,000, Jack moved into this home. Although the girl couldn't hear or see, she judged everything by touch. She touched Jack's men's leather shoes and knew that a stranger had entered the house. Jack wanted to be nice to this poor girl during this 1 month, so he bought some delicious fried noodles with soybean paste. The girl, smelling the fragrance, crawled out. She had never eaten fried noodles with soybean paste before. Her mother was always very busy, and all she could eat were those moldy pieces of bread. But even though she really wanted to eat the noodles, she still walked away and chose to eat those moldy bread. Jack could only throw away all those expired bread. The next day, he bought fried noodles with soybean paste again. The girl was so tempted that she kept swallowing her saliva. The next second, she went to the door and tentatively checked if Jack's shoes were still there. Jack had expected this and had put his shoes away in advance, but even though she really wanted to eat the noodles, the girl still walked towards the place where the bread was kept. But where were the bread that had been thrown away? Jack could only go to the street and use the little savings he had left to buy a big bag of the bread the girl used to eat. Smelling the familiar smell, the girl understood that this stranger had no ill intentions towards her. Then she went straight to the table. After that, the girl no longer hid in fear, and Jack was also trying his best to act as a fake father under his care. The girl smiled more often. She used Jack's shaving cream and played with the bubbles in the bathroom. She was no longer afraid of the rainy days with thunder because Jack's arms were very warm, and she gradually realized that maybe her mother would never come back. She could only cry while hugging the clothes her mother had worn.